15th. It's the monthly meeting of the planning board. If everyone could stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first order of agenda, we would like to welcome Kaz Pierikowski to the board. We had thank you. We had a bunch of candidates come in. We thank them all for their time. We had a lot of really good options. Kaz, because of his commitment to the town, and he has is also background in building, it was chosen. And I'd like to say thank you for joining us, and welcome to the planning board. So,
Thank you.
all right, first item on the agenda would be special permit with waiver of site plan approval, public hearing, Ellen Rosenfeld, 16 Milliston Road, Juice Bar.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 11, Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Milliston Common, Inc., 730 Main Street, Millis, Mass., requesting a special permit with a waiver of site plan approval under Section 5 Use Regulations, Table 1, Retail and Services, Number 5, Juice Bars, of the zoning bylaw of the town of Millis for property at 16 Milliston Road, Millis, Mass., map 24, parcel 149. Copy of the application is on file in the office of the town clerk and on the planning board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
And from what I hear from Mrs. Rosenfeld, the applicant is not here. You're going to present for them, which is fine. That's fine if, I mean, we...
I don't know why he's not here.
Yeah, so basically, if you just want to tell us, it's going in the Verizon. And,
No, yeah. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So it's
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Oh.
Ellen Rosenfeld, 12 Evergreen Terrace. He just had a baby yesterday, but he said she was coming tonight, so maybe baby. So this is the old, it's in the Verizon building, down toward the end, closer to Roach Brothers, where the furniture store was for a New York Minute. And I think is it here? Is he?
I
There's
saw someone
somebody-
outside,
yeah.
He's gone through the door.
No, that's a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw gray.
So go ahead, that's fine.
Oh, hi. So he's interested in putting in a juice bar.
Okay, so that's fine. And of course, it's a little hard because I'm not sure how you could answer the questions on that, which is probably be better for the applicant. Just because that area down there is a little tougher for parking, because would go to like the post office shop and stuff. Do you have any idea of how they plan on doing that? You know what I mean? It's just kind of tight in their parking to begin with. I know there's a ton of parking in the
Yeah,
front.
I mean, I don't know if I'm responsible to put parking right in front of them.
No.
So, no, I don't, no. I mean,
Okay. All right.
It's mentioned in the waiver request letter, about the parking.
All right, there we go, sorry. And there we go. All right, so it said,
Maybe it's-
sorry, on that one, from
They need 6 spots.
from you, it says, please accept this letter as a waiver of site plan approval, and the site consists of 13,086 square feet. Parking
1,300.
requirements for this use, other retail service.
1,386 feet.
I'm sorry, did I say 13,000? Okay, sorry.
That could
That'd
change.
be a hell of a
That's big-
juice
that's-
bar.
That's a big difference.
We may
Sorry.
have a parking problem with that
Yeah.
number.
They're actually growing the fruit in the store.
So on this one, it said on this, just to read, it says parking requirements for this use, other retail service, finance, insurance, or a real estate establishment or eating place requires 1 parking space for each 250 square feet of gross area, which said parking requirement has been satisfied. So I know there's a bunch of parking
Yeah.
in front there, so,
Yeah.
okay. And there, no change to the facade other than a sign?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Any questions from the board?
Just one quick question.
Do you know if there are anything, is there anything different about this particular establishment that might be bending the definition of a juice bar?
No. To my knowledge, it's just a juice bar. There's no food, burgers, anything like that. So, just a juice bar.
Okay. All right, anyone else? Any comments from the public? All right. All right, let's see, I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I don't see any issue. Does, someone want to make a motion?
Make a motion that we grant the special permit application with waiver of site plan approval for 16 Milliston Road, Milliston Commons, Inc., for a juice bar.
Second. All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, that guy's gonna have to get rent from you more often. Thank you, Ellen. Yeah,
Anyone that just came in, if you could just sign in on the sheet that's up front, please?
all right. Hey, look at my page down here. I lost my damn. Oh, there we go. All right, second item on the agenda would be special permit, temporary structures, public hearing, Kenneth Santos, All-American Tent Company, I'm assuming.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 48, Section 11 Mass General Law. The Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14, 2026 at 7:05 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Kenneth Santos, All-American Party Rentals LLC, 28 Forest Street, Dunstable, Mass., requesting a special permit under Section 13, Special Permit Conditions J, Temporary Structures of the zoning bylaw of the Town of Millis for installation of a 40-foot by 60-foot pole tent structure for a wedding event at 140 Causeway Street, Millis, Mass., map 13, parcel 8, property owned by Jen Zarutsky, Windy Knob Farm LLC. Copy of the application and site plan is on file with the Office of the Town Clerk and on the Planning Board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and so I don't know if you've spoken to Jen before, but you're setting the tent up in the same area that they always set the tents up?
Correct. So they basically gave me the plans that they usually use. So yeah, it will be going in the same location as previous tents.
Okay. And then you'll have a accessible outhouse. That was one of the things that the,
So we are not providing an outhouse. I'm
Okay.
assuming Jen has that.
all right,
We're just providing the tent, some chairs, and a dance floor.
okay. All right, any comments from the thing? And so, like, with the normal setup on that, we asked that, and this wouldn't be you, but we'd ask that the area be mowed. There's supposed to be parking for handicap, which she's supposed to provide.
Yep.
All that stuff will be inspected by the building inspector, so that's, yeah, so, okay. And you said no sides, and you're gonna have a heater. If you do, you're gonna go to the.
As of right now, they haven't added any sides to the tent. It's a
Yeah.
July wedding, so I assume they're not going to.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a
might
pretty
need air
basic.
conditioners.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the structure of the tent.
Yeah, cool. All right, good. All right, and is there any comment? Okay, all right, so, do we have the other one? We're gonna try to do the other one too?
I know you have to put this
Oh,
one
all
as
right,
just by
separate.
itself.
All right, so I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, someone want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we grant the special permit for a temporary structure at 14 Causeway Street, Windy Knob Farm on July
14th.
14th, 2026.
Second.
Kenneth Santos, All-American Party Rentals.
Second. All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Back to Dunstable you go. So, thank you. Nashua, okay.
Oh, that was a long ride for 30 seconds. If anybody that just came in, if you could just come up front and sign in on the sheet that's on the clipboard, please.
All right, next item on the agenda would be special permit, temporary structures, public hearing, Madison Giacobi and Jared Negro, 140 Causeway Street.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board, notice of public hearing in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 40A, Section 11, Mass General Law. The Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, at 7:10 PM in Veterans Memorial Building, Room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Jared Negro, EVO Tents LLC, 10 Pine Street, Whitensville, Mass. 01588, requesting a special permit under Section 13, Special Permit Conditions, subsection J, temporary structures of the zoning bylaw of the town of Millis for installation of tent structures for 3 separate wedding events in September and October of 2026 at 140 Causeway Street, Millis, Mass. Map 13, Parcel 8, property owned by Jen Zaretsky, Windy Knob Farm LLC. Copy of the application and site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and on the planning board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and so I assume you're Madison, and...
I'm actually Caitlin.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry.
Sounds good, not a problem. So on this one, you actually have 3 tents lined up. So
Yep.
you have one on September 19th, one on October 10th, and one on October 24th.
Yes.
So you heard our spiel for the last one, we have to have, the field has to be mowed, all of this stuff will be
Yes.
inspected by the thing, but as a person who is using the venue, you should make sure that those things are done.
Absolutely.
Just to call and check on it. I assume it will, but,
Yes.
and then on the toilet, accessible toilets, with that.
Portable
Portable toilet.
Johnny's.
Yeah, we also aren't providing those at Evo, but I think last time I was here, I was here in March, and I think Jen, you guys were in, contact with Jen about the bathrooms and all of that stuff.
She's gonna supply
Right.
those?
Yeah, yeah.
Just because that's a building requirement for that, that's why we say it, because
Okay.
if it doesn't happen, and the building inspector goes there, he will not issue the permit, so we don't
Okay.
want that to happen, so you should follow up on that, so.
So it's the bathroom and the handicap parking
In the handicap
spaces.
parking spot.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so those are the 2 things. All right, and so
So
basically.
just
go ahead.
one,
Yeah.
there's, it depicts 3 sidewalls on this, so you've talked to the building inspector about this as far as all the emergency lighting goes? and-
Yep, we'll provide fire extinguishers and exit signs for them, and that is on the 30 by 60, correct? Yep.
That's correct.
Okay, yep, we'll provide all of that for that.
Okay.
The other 2 shouldn't have any on them, at this time, yeah.
Cool. All right, any other questions? All right, I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and Nicole, or Alan, do you want to make a motion?
Want me to make a
You
motion?
make,
Oh,
Do we have to-
I move we approve the application for 3 tents at 140 Causeway Street.
okay, great. All right, motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, you're all set, thank you. Okey dokey. All right, next item on the agenda would be waiver of site plan review request from Dialia Mohammed. As, so if you wanted to come on up and let us know what you're gonna do and where it would be, if you could.
So the address is at 917 Main Street in Millis, and I'm just looking to do a barber shop in there.
So what is that, 917, is that next to the,
Main Street next to the pizza place. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, so the only question I had on that is, that parking lot is, how many chairs are you gonna have? The reason I ask is, there's Magic Nails is in there, not that I get my nails done, but my wife
Yeah.
does. And
Yeah.
it's, that parking lot is not all that big.
Yeah.
My question to you was, how many?
So there's 25 shared parking spaces, and
Yep.
he's required to have 5.
Okay, so you'll have 5 parking spaces? Okay.
Yes, not
Yeah, I
based
do.
on the chairs, it's based on the square footage.
No, I know, but that's great, I can still ask the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
no.
I'm actually not looking to do more than 2 chairs. That, I think that's gonna be
no, that-
maximum, yeah. Yeah.
If you had said 17 chairs, that would be. a
Yeah,
different conversation.
2, 3 maximum,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
that was my only question. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? And the sign would go through the building department, so that takes care of that.
Yeah.
So, all right, I don't have anything, anyone else?
No.
All right, I make a motion that we waive site plan review request for us, waive site plan review for 915 Main Street, for the barbecue.
So
Second.
917.
Oh, 917, sorry, it's
No, I'm just,
No, that's
wanna
fine.
make sure, yeah.
Nope,
No,
that's-
good. Thank you.
There's a
I appreciate it.
typo.
Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
So I make a motion that we waive site plan review for 917 Main Street.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, great.
Welcome to
Good luck.
Millis.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda. Senior Residential Community Development, SRCD, informal discussion with Demetrius Consultants. Is that correctly?
Hasiotis.
Castellanos, okay, all right. All right, and if you want to just let the folks at home know the location of where you're talking, you actually have the plans together.
Yep, so I do have a plan, so the address is 0 Norfolk Road. It's kind of diagonal from the safety signal property, probably 3 or 4 lots to the left diagonally is the frontage for this piece. I did send this conceptual plan, I don't know who's seen it or, okay, so you have it, great. So I sent it to the building commissioner, the planner, sorry about that. And I guess my, the point in coming tonight is just to, I'm in the very early stages of developing a plan for this property. The acreage requirement is met with this piece of property for the senior housing development. Just a couple kind of informal questions I have looking at the bylaw, which is at the discretion of the board, is this 100-foot buffer and this 50-foot buffer. So if you look, and again, this layout is based on those 2 buffers. It's based on kind of layout for the units that I would typically, or would like to build here. So that, that's an initial question that I have before we would move forward with site design, soil testing, wetland delineation. And then I guess
Actually, if you could just,
Sure.
we had a couple of questions
Sure.
pop up on that one. so
Yes.
If we could just go through.
Sure.
One of the questions was, what page was that, where you found that zoning item? Do you remember off the top of your head?
So I believe it's section, it's funny, I tried to pull the link up tonight and it wasn't the zoning bylaws. I had to go to the state website to get them because I don't know, did you launch a new website recently?
Yes.
So I tried to click on the link.
Where's the,
But I believe it's chapter 11 in the zoning bylaws, which is basically the outline of the senior housing development.
Books work best.
I know.
yeah, but he doesn't have access to our books.
He can buy one.
I agree.
He can buy one at the clerk's
No.
office.
I agree.
Yeah.
Is this the SRCD?
So I believe it's chapter 11 in the zoning.
173,
Yeah, it's 173 to 190.
senior residential.
See, this is why I'm resigning if you retire.
Oh, thanks.
All right, yeah, just give us a minute.
No, yep, all good, thank you.
And, well,
173.
Okay, so the
I know. That's the 50-foot and 100-foot.
standard space, open space requirements,
It's not my jurisdiction.
standard design criteria.
Yeah, so I think the only question I had on that was, which the building inspector had brought up on, was it had on it that the maximum number of dwelling units allowed in a tract shall be developed under the SRC bylaw shall be 2 per square acre of usable lands. Because in one of the things we had on that, which goes to your question on
Yep.
on the 50-foot buffer, the 100-foot buffer, and then also, to be fair to you, the building inspector had said that, you know, they would really need to have a delineation of the wetlands prior to do that, because that has to be done to establish, you know, the boundaries.
Usable,
'Cause,
sure.
yeah, the maps are general.
Right, the GIS is limited. So the wetland setback I'm good with, but I guess my question is, and I don't know if you can see on the small plan, but the bylaw for the senior housing, they want the way it's written, there's 100-foot buffer built in around the whole property. Nothing to do with wetlands, nothing to do with, you know, basically, it's not a wetland setback. It's, essentially, I read it as a screening setback for 55 housing to abutting properties, whether it be single-family or whether it be abutting some type of commercial use. So, not obviously, but we will, if we decide to move forward, we'll get the wetlands delineated, which will have to do with the density that we can put on the property. But my question is more to, if it's the discretion of the board with being able to go between that 150-foot buffer for buildings, or the way it's written in the bylaw, roads can go through that buffer. I believe certain utilities can touch that buffer, but the buildings have to be within that 100 and the 50 to 100-foot buffer for the whole perimeter of the property.
What, it's a different question, just because I'm not going to
Yeah.
answer that question.
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah.
going to ask you a different question,
Yeah,
to
sure.
confuse you even more.
Sure.
The 35% percent of total land area.
Yep.
You had calculated that also, that you actually have that left over. And with that, I think one of the things, I think when we did, it can't be like swamp. I think that was one of the things.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't really make any comments till we see a stamp plan,
Okay,
and let them make the determination on
Yeah.
how they interpret the bylaw. I
Okay.
wouldn't give them any of our comments or interpretations of what the bylaw says until we see an actual stamp on the.
yeah, no, that's fine. I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't think I think I'm asking for information, not giving,
Yeah.
but your point's well taken,
Sure.
I got it. But what I would say on it is, you know, there are these things in the bylaw that you have to hit, and so we would make sure that you know, you are actually going and
Sure.
doing those
Sure.
items.
Yep,
Because that will be something that we will, that, you know, non-negotiable on
yep,
that.
sure, yep.
And on the 50-foot setback, that one,
I guess I was curious if any similar projects have been before you, that, how you enforce that 50 to 100-foot buffer, if it was a fence or increased landscaping or, anything like that.
yep, just hold
The
on.
50-foot buffer is enforced by the Conservation Commission. You can't even cut a tree in the 50 feet.
So the buffer I'm talking about is it's in that senior district bylaw.
You do have wetlands there, so there's gonna be some other issues that's gonna impact that as well, so. I would recommend that you go through the Conservation Commission first,
Yeah, okay,
and before you ask any questions about, what's in our regulation.
okay.
Yeah, well, you know, I found the part now. It's on page 178.
That's number F, or letter F.
Right.
Are you intending on using any of the space that you're required to as part of the buffer? Or part of the open space?
Minor access roads and pedestrian paths may cross the buffer.
Because you had mentioned the roads going through it.
Right,
And that
so,
refers to the open space piece.
right, so the way it's drawn right now, part of the road goes between that, it touches the 100-foot property line buffer, which in the bylaw is allowed. So, you know, there's again, the small plan, I know it's probably hard to see, but the two buildings closest to Norfolk Road, a corner of the building encroaches on that 100-foot property setback into the 50. And then if you go further down the road, again, touches that 100-foot, but it's within the 50 property line setback, which, again, in the bylaw, my interpretation is that is allowed. As far as, I'm not gonna speak to, what the actual land usage would be per unit. Again, this is just a quick and dirty sketch of, I guess, best case scenario of what the number of units could be before doing any wetlands, doing any soil testing, anything like that. So I guess my biggest thing was just to get some feedback on, you know, obviously the acreage, it's an allowed with a special permit. I just didn't know if there were any members that had strong opposition to a 55-plus development in that certain area of town, or any, you know, anything like that. Again, I know it's very informal, and
Yeah, make a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the planning board doesn't decide what gets going and what doesn't get to going. It's not a matter of whether we are in favor of this. It's a matter of whether it's allowed under the laws of under our bylaws and
Yep.
under the state guidance. We, which most people don't understand, we don't pick and choose what goes where.
Sure.
So if the zoning bylaw says this use is allowed in this district, and you meet all the criteria,
Sure.
it can go there regardless of whether any of us want it.
okay,
Just as a first point.
yep,
As a second point, the section that you're referencing to having to do with planning board discretion,
yes,
that is not, planning board discretion is not something that we historically grant openly. There
Okay.
has to be very specific reasons. Now, I understand this is a rough draft
Sure.
plan, and it's very small. But I'm seeing, not being an engineer, and I do have my glasses on, 3, possibly 4 of the buildings that you have on here are encroaching the 100-foot buffer. As you pull it on the left side, you've got, as you said, the
Yep.
second building, then as you go up the road, the third one to the left, 4, 5, 6, the 7th one to the left, then as you come around the circle, there's one, almost the entire building is between 150 feet. So this isn't an issue of you've got one building, at least just from this little drawing, which I would go back to what my colleague and board member said. We don't like to comment on things like this.
Yeah.
It's much better to have a full-size plan, and I understand that requires a much bigger expense on your part. But without seeing specifics and without having specific reasons why you're looking to encroach on 4 different buildings
Yeah.
in the buffer,
Sure.
no one in this board is going to give you an answer.
Sure.
Right, and
Understood,
just
yeah.
one more thing, I'm just gonna take 2 seconds and read actually that portion of the bylaw. So it says perimeter buffer. A 100-foot wide buffer between an SRC and abutting properties is required around the entire SRC perimeter, provided, however, the access roads and pedestrian paths may cross the buffer at discretion of the planning board, and the planning board may otherwise reduce the width of the buffer to no less than 50 feet at appropriate locations, taking into account the character or open space use of abutting properties, or the existence or requirements of buffer thereon. The perimeter buffer shall remain in a natural state to preserve the visual character of the parcel being developed, at the discretion of the planning board in accordance with the provisions of this SRC bylaw. The perimeter buffer may be included in the open space computations. So basically, it says that, you know, we do have some, you know, leeway in that, but to Nicole's point, it says right in here for good cause. So that's something that we would have to ponder.
Sure.
Right, so.
Totally.
And again, historically, without having filed an application,
Yeah.
it is this board's custom that we don't really give you specific answers, because I'm not going to say, yes, we'll allow this.
Right.
And then when once you've filed and the information you bring back to us shows us, okay, the situation is different, but now you can say, well, if you go back to meeting such and such, you said you'd allow it. So without having an application filed and all of the actual plans, really our hands are tied to comment, because we don't have sufficient information.
Totally understand.
It's not that we're trying to blow you off.
I appreciate you putting me on the agenda tonight in the middle of July, and I appreciate everyone's time,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comments.
All right. Yeah, and what I would say is if you take the list of, of items that the building inspector
Sure.
said you should, if you want to proceed, to start off with that list. Like Mike said, you'll end up going to Concom, or
Yep.
have your engineer take a look at it and say, hey, that would be your consultant. You go to your consultant and they can give you some guidance on, hey, this is what we think.
Yep.
Because, that wouldn't really be in our thing, but.
Sure. Great.
So, we probably didn't help you a lot, but.
No, but listen, I just, at least to put a face with a name and whatnot, so
Yep.
again, I appreciate your time, and thank you. Thank you for the
good.
comments.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Sure.
Ellen Rosenfeld, 12 Evergreen Terrace. So I know he knows this, but sewer is a few miles away, so there's no sewer. You know this.
Yes,
And I happen to know this piece of property, and the soil is lousy. Do you know that?
Based
Have you done- have you-
based on the mapping, the
Okay.
soil is,
Okay, before you go spending all your money, and we never see you again, you should have some testing done first, because I don't know if it's gonna support the project.
All right. Let's see here. Next item on the agenda.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And and I don't know how I do it, but every single time I fold my agenda into the thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next item on the agenda is Wagabrew, minor modification field change request, and that would be David Lapp, so. All right, and let's see, for the folks at home, Wagabrew just opened on Main Street. It's across from the Collett Building, and they do doggy daycare and a few other things that Dave can tell you about, so.
A few other things as well, yes. I'm back.
I think
David
let
Lapp
the
for
folks,
20 Putty Drive in Westwood. I'm here to request a minor change to
Yep,
the original plan that we put forth with regards to landscaping. And the change that I'm requesting is to not put in the trees that are blocking the building's visibility from the street. I'm happy to put in some trees in the back to make up for that difference, but I would like to see the cars that drive by, I'd like to see them not drive by and actually stop in. So they need to see the building. It's really what it comes down to.
right.
The original plan was made by Jeff Kane. His interpretation of the bylaws put those street trees in. And with further interpretation, we believe that those really were not necessary. There's no other trees that are blocking any other buildings, so.
Right, well, to back up on that, those are, in our interpretation of that, those were required, they're by the bylaw. So to start off with, what happens on other areas is, with the trees can be omitted by a donation to the town tree fund is one way to do it. So basically, the goal is to either have trees or have money available to the town to fix the trees that we have that are falling on the roads, to maintain, basically try to keep the town so it doesn't look like a strip mall. So, and the other thing is that when we did this whole plan, we went through, we had conversations, when you said, hey, I'm okay with doing it, you know, we will put the trees in. That being said, I understand 100% of what you're saying. It makes sense to me that you want to have it open. The question to me, why we wanted to make sure we brought it to the board is, you know, is there some happy medium where maybe, you know, a tree or two goes in the front in a spot that's not blocking your building, or to your point, maybe you put trees elsewhere on your property, which doesn't necessarily bother me personally, but I'd like the board to have a conversation on it. So all very valid points, but we just wanted to talk about it, so. So
Sure.
what does the board think of the request?
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
As Mr. Knapp has said, if you drive down that section, there are no trees in front of any of the other buildings.
Right.
It is the industrial section. There is a pre-existing tree at the corner that doesn't block any of the view. If the board wants to have a second tree installed on the front, maybe to the right of the building, which would really only block, eventually will block some of the parking area and the view of the back fenced-in area. You know, behind it is wooded. I don't
Right.
personally have a problem with waiving, like you said, some of those properties have one tree.
Right.
Some have none of them.
But to that point, and like
No, I
said,
understand what
yeah.
you're saying,
Oh,
absolutely.
You know, one of the things is to make it that different than what we have, to enhance the properties, is to plant a tree. So if you have it and it's a super highway with no trees, and you say, hey, we're not gonna do anything, then it's not gonna change. If we say, hey, we'd like to have it with a little more, you know, foliage to break it up, then, then we say, hey, we wanna have a tree bylaw, and we wanna encourage people to put trees in. So there's, there's two thought processes.
I agree.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, could we consider alternate proposals such as some low shrubbery, something to green up the front that wouldn't be in the line of sight for the drivers?
But that's up to, I think that would be up to you, us as a board. I mean, if that's, if that'd be,
Like
Well,
boxwoods, that kind of thing?
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Like boxwoods? Like those
Yeah.
short,
Something
slow,
lower, the
Something you can
green and
maintain.
live, not asphalt.
So one of the things, we just had a long discussion in the parking bylaws about trees. And part of that was, the reason for the trees at times is to break up some of that, I guess, solar absorption into the parking lot so it's not hot. And make it a little bit more eco-friendly. So that's part of some of the tree pieces. I would look for an alternative. There are, like Ms. Riley said, it's a wooded area, so you've got a
Yep.
lot of other trees. So, I would be looking for, something to, accommodate you at the same time, figuring out how to do this.
yeah.
and one other thing is
To
to be
that
fair.
point, we actually did not cut down any trees.
Right.
Sorry, David, to cut you off. One thing to be fair to all of the applicants along the way, and I've explained this before, McDonald's went in and they did a renovation project. They basically made a donation to the tree fund for the number of trees. There's a set number by the engineer. Hey, if you don't put in the tree, you got to give us whatever it is to the tree fund. And we want to be fair across the board. It's McDonald's said they were going to do it. It went ahead and said we didn't want to do it, and they went up front and did it. What you're saying is, hey, I want to come back later and I want to not do the trees. Okay, fair enough, but we would want to consider if having the donation to the tree fund, just so we're fair across the board. We don't want to, we're not picking on you, but we can't go ahead and say, hey, we're going to do it for this guy and we're going to do something different for the other, because then it's really not fair to everybody. So, that would be another option, is we'd have to get a number from Beta, which is our consulting engineer, of, hey, this is what the tree is, and, you could just give us give the town, it's not us, the town would get a donation to the tree fund, and we could vote to skip the trees and take the donation in lieu of the trees. So that would be, or if your other option is say, hey, I would rather put bushes in front of my house, you know, in front of my area, and at least I have the bushes, and, you know, they're mine and whatever. That's another alternative that if the board is okay with, just to, you know, like, they said, kind of green it up a little bit, that's another option. So would that be amicable to the board?
Mr. Chairman, question.
go ahead.
This plan doesn't look like an as-built plan. Do you have an as-built plan? or everything
The as-built
exactly?
plan will be completed after this landscaping is done, which actually gets completed this week. So
So the trees are not in?
the trees are not in. We had a landscaper left us. So I got a new landscaper, and he's started the back, and now he's going to be doing the front tomorrow.
Right, so that's why he's here, is to get this wrapped up, so.
Right.
So, and like I said, I'd leave it up to the board on that if, you know, if we, and you also, if, you know, if we give you either way, you'd have to make a decision on which option you'd want to do. So, you know, my personal opinion is that I think I would like one tree, and then in the front, somewhere where it's not, you know, and I got it, not obstructing your, so at least we gained one tree.
Okay.
And then you could either do a donation to the tree fund for the, you know, the number of trees, you know, that it is, or you could plant an equal number of bushes on, you know, in front of your property. So that would be my personal choice, and that way it's kind of the same thing. It's just, we're shifting it around a little bit, so.
Sure. I mean, look, I'm happy to, if the choices are to plant trees, or not trees, bushes, or something low enough where cars passing by can see over them, then it's not blocking visibility.
Right.
So that's a perfectly acceptable
Well,
application
that's my
to me.
personal, I defer to the board to see what everyone else thinks, is that.
Just another quick question. There's a note on this plan that says something about the Conservation Commission.
Yeah,
Is that
That's been taken care of.
taken care of? Okay.
yeah. Basically, right now, we're just talking about the trees in the front, so.
Do you have an order, a certificate of compliance with the Conservation Commission? Have you gone back to them? Did you have to gain an order and then get a
Order of
certificate of
conditions.
compliance?
Don't think so. That's,
If I may, that's pending the as-built plan as well, to close, he does have an open order of conditions, and then once the as-built is done, he does have to apply for a request for certificate of compliance to close out the order of conditions, yes.
Did that affect the plantings that he shows in that one section?
They voted last night that he does not have to remove, there was trees that were supposed to be removed, and he does not have to remove those.
Right.
They approved the field change for his request for the back. and
right.
the
We actually
side.
did not disturb that area.
Okay.
So my proposal to Conservation was to remove the invasive species and allow the native species that are already there to flourish. And we did that in another area where I showed them, and it worked wonderfully. We have beautiful ferns and some gorgeous, gorgeous foliage in there.
All right, so what, any thoughts from the board of what we want to do? I mean, I could leave it up to David, and he can make his choice on what you want to do, or what do you guys think?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I
Yeah.
would, you know, we originally had agreed upon 5 trees out there. I think, you know, at least you should have 2 trees anyway, and then possibly have some sort of bushes in the front, like you said, and how you're gonna plant those. Maybe come back and give us some ideas on what you would propose for bushes, what type of bushes, how high they grow. And I would be amenable to keep, you know, you can get 5 trees, you can get rid of 3 of them, at least keep 2 up there, because you know, when people come in and take over projects and redo projects, and we want to not make it like an industrial complex when you're going down there, and put some evergreens and some trees there to break it up. So I wouldn't be in favor of moving all the trees, but I would be in favor of some alternate method that would keep the greenery and keep a couple trees there. So,
Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be satisfied with 2 trees, but, you know, I also think you could do the one in a row of bushes would be fine. I think probably you should decide what you want to do and tell us, and then we vote on it.
make a proposal.
I'm happy to put another tree, next to the other trees too. So I mean, there are some woods there. If you look on that bottom right-hand corner, there's actually trees there existing. And I'm happy, and I didn't cut any down. don't plan on cutting any down. There's also another existing tree on the other side, on the left side, right next to my sign. And I'm not planning on cutting that one down either. So I would, and there is one other tree that's already existing that I did not cut down that's next to the telephone pole, which is actually a crabapple tree, I believe. I'm happy to put another tree between that crabapple tree and the woods.
Okay, I mean, that's, I just, waiting for Mike to. And question for you,
And some
on this, right now, you've got a, because right now you have a temp CO, so we're extending this. Your goal would be to come out of this, in theory, with an answer, so you could proceed, is my guess?
Correct.
Yeah. So. All right, so, go ahead.
So, yeah, that's a good point. There's been a lot of numbers thrown out here.
Yes.
So, is it one tree, or two trees, or one tree and some bushes?
Right, well, that's all that's been coming around. It's a
Yeah.
great, hold on, let me finish before you get up here and start talking. What we're trying to do is throw out some ideas, and we don't want to, what we're looking is to get some input from you on that, so.
Sure.
You had mentioned one tree, Mike had said two trees, so that's another viewpoint. There's also bushes, which would be an option. You could also say, I don't want to do anything, and like I said, you could do no trees and donate the money to the tree fund. So, there's a lot of different options there.
Yeah.
In our preference, we'd like to at least come out of it with one, additional tree in the front, I would say would be the minimum. So we're not trying, and Ellen, I'm trying to be wishy-washy on this,
No,
but
no,
we're
no.
doing on this is we're trying to give him some flexibility.
That's not my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ellen Rosenfeld, he has an existing trees there.
Yes.
My question is, are you counting that one, or are we only talking about new?
The new, it's right on the plan, right now, I've got, according to the plan that was approved, there were 5 new street
New.
trees. New, correct. So basically, all we're talking about right now is the 5, and the question is, to your point, is you want people to see the building, got it. But, you originally said 5, we have to be fair to the other people, so it's either 5 donation of 5 trees or the equal value to the tree fund, or 1 tree and bushes, and it would be the same thing, equal value to the tree fund. No matter what it is, it's gonna be equal to the amount that would have gone into the tree
Sure.
fund. So that's when we're all said and done, so,
Mr. Chair?
go ahead.
I can't read this because it's not a full-size plan, and I'm half-blind at this point today. But there is a drawing on the plan of a typical shrub planting detail, and I do believe if somebody had a magnifying glass, it has a height. I personally would be okay with, as Mike had said, having Mr. Knapp come back with showing us what bushes. I would be happy with basing it upon what we have drawn here and saying, as long as the bushes meet this requirement, putting up 1 tree or, obviously the end result, the end answer is what you propose. It's really not us telling you what to do. It's
Okay.
what would you like to do, you telling us, and then we would vote on it. Mr. Chair, is it possible to give Mr. Lapp a few minutes to think about it? We go to the next, because this is not a public meeting. Can we move to the next two, well, the next one is continued, but then go to the next public hearing, allow Mr. Lapp a few minutes to process everything we've said to him,
Yeah.
and then have him
Yeah,
come back
Actually,
with,
I think I can put together a proposal right now, because if I'm understanding what you're saying, I'm happy to put in a tree. I'm happy to put in some bushes. I would actually put in maybe 3 or 4 bushes, but smaller bushes. There is a tree height on here. And that's actually part of the issue because the tree height is 12 feet, right? So the 12 feet, a 12-foot tree blocks the building's visibility completely, right? So I would propose to plant plant one more tree. I'll put in three bushes that are low, maybe 3 feet high. And then propose to put in, make a donation to the tree fund.
That sounds fair to me. So,
What kind of bushes, Mr. Chairman? How big do they grow?
He just said that would go to 3 feet.
What kinds of bushes out there?
Well, it's
yeah.
gonna be,
Can
it's
we
gonna be a
just-
native species, I'll say that.
Be specific on what you have in mind, be specific what you have in mind and what you want to put. That would be my recommendation,
Yeah.
so we can, so if you put something out there and then it's not what we expected, if you have something specific that in mind that you want to put,
Could we just,
Yeah,
if
I
it's an
think it would be
evergreen?
better.
yeah, I was
Let him- let him tell us.
looking at something along the lines of a boxwood.
Fine. That's fine. Okay,
Very good.
Do
We have a
can we
definition.
make a motion? Move on.
yeah. Okay,
I move that we approve the amended plan with one additional tree and 3 boxwoods and a donation to the tree fund.
right, and we'll get the number from the engineer, so it
Can
won't
we-
be, go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Can we clarify that the donation to the tree fund would be for the last tree? Because he's putting in 1 tree,
Yeah.
3
Can I-
boxwoods, so that's
Right.
4.
Wait, can I just, so what I would say is that there's 5 trees. Let's say they're $100 apiece, just for talking purposes. That's $500. What I would say is that he can put in 1 tree, that's at least 4 trees left. And then whatever the value of the 4 trees is, he can deduct whatever the bushes are, okay? Because a bush doesn't cost the same as a tree in general, just to be fair to everybody else. So basically, no matter what happens, you're gonna end up with, the same amount of cost for the trees, so we're fair across the board to everybody. So that's, but you're getting what you want in planting, is what it's coming down to, is you don't have to put the 5 trees in front. You get 3 trees on your, 3 bushes on your property, which will enhance your property, so that's a win for you.
Yep.
And, you have to do the donation, just so we're fair to everybody, so I think everybody wins on that, so,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
just this, going back to that conservation.
Yep.
That section that I'm seeing right now has several plantings according to the planting schedule.
Right, but
So
that's,
there were the Norway spruces.
Right.
Are those always, also been waived according to the Conservation Commission? Are you
Yeah, we're not,
placing those?
in order for me to plant those,
Mhm.
I have to rip out a lot of stuff,
Right.
right? So Conservation Commission was clear about not wanting to rip out a lot of native species in order to put in another native species.
Okay. So those have also been waived as far as that goes. So you're not purchasing
Right,
those
because
trees.
because
Will that-
we didn't disturb that area.
Okay.
no,
So-
I see your point.
See
I
my
guess. Yeah,
point,
I see
yeah.
your point, I get your point. So, okay, so all in all, I think that would be a fair compromise. So, I think you didn't get your second tree.
Well, if he's not putting in those other trees, then you should add that into the donation to.
Well, would the engineer make that calculation?
They would, I don't know, like I
So
said,
we just don't want to surprise you with a
yeah.
big bill, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of
please
trees there. Okay, so that's,
Please don't.
Yeah, they have a size caliper on it, it's in the thing.
a double caliber on the 1 tree.
The long and the short of it is, there's a number that was on the plan. Whatever that is determined by the engineer, he needs to satisfy, at least for the street trees, that part. On the conservation part, I get what you're saying,
because that was part of the approved plan.
Yeah,
initially.
so-
Yeah, so again, if the engineer takes a look at it
yeah,
and sees that these are also omitted, that's part of that. So I don't think that we
yeah,
want to
okay,
surprise
no, I
But
see.
to be
your point.
clear, those were omitted because we don't want to kill trees to plant trees.
I understand that.
Yeah, but they're part of
They
the
were
plan.
proposed in your
Part of the
plan,
plan.
so they were supposed to be there. So that's,
Yeah, well, there are trees there.
Yep.
Because we never ripped them out.
Yeah, I mean, so, and that's, yeah, go ahead.
Engineer should have thought of this when he was doing the design.
he didn't,
Yeah,
I
so
don't like cutting down trees, so
Yeah, no.
we did our best to not cut down any trees, remove invasive species, and leave it as much natural trees and
All right, so-
full-grown mature trees as well.
Yep. All right, so one more thing on that is, are you looking right now? All right, just, you're gonna give us 1 second. We have to look to see if there's what is left in the review fee, because to get Beta to do the engineer to do the review, we have to pay them to, basically, we have to make a phone call to find out what the number of trees in the cost would be. So you just have to wait 1 second on that.
Yeah, 'cause that's a lot. I mean, I drove by this.
All right, so that, just so you know, that will also, we'll actually have to ask for, there's $100 left in the review fee. $125 left in the review fee, so we'd have to, it would be some money to have the engineer basically send us a memo to basically deduct those trees, okay? So, it's the way it works, unfortunately, so.
The irony of paying to not do something.
Right, correct. Well, you're requesting a change, so
Yes.
that's to be fair. So if you want, what we could do is, we could, you'd have to pay to get what the cost would be to do that. And we could pass this on to the next meeting, and then you'd have time to review all this stuff if you want. Or we can go ahead and, because like Kaz said, we probably should pick up those trees since they were deleted.
So, again, going back to the parking lot, there's supposed to be one tree for every 4 parking lots. That is supposed to be 35, go to a mature height of 30 feet. And again, because we're trying to be fair to everybody coming, down the road, that calculation should be there. So according to this, there's 42 spots. So we need roughly 10.5 trees, so 11 trees, I would see it that way. And we're deleting, 5 in the front right now, and then the 4 plus the others there. I don't have a problem with using some of these bushes that they have in here, the spice bush and everything that they've noted on the plan. As far as that goes, you've already done some engineering here. If you could have the engineer give us a newer plan or something like that, or the architect, or you could just kind of scratch these out the way that you have them here and propose that.
Mr. Chair? I think if we're going to go back to square one and determining the number of trees based upon the parking space, I think then it's only fair to the applicant that we go out there and find out what trees are there and give him credit for the trees that he has now cleaned up the area and he has trees for. Because these trees were determined to be planted assuming that that area was all going to be ripped up. And the Conservation Commission, which has authority over this, has already given him a waiver saying, no, you don't, not only do you not have to tear up those trees, we don't want you to tear up those trees. So if there's already, whether there's 2 trees or 10 trees out there, if we're going to recalculate the number of trees based on, we're going to do that calculation that was done 4 months ago instead of just addressing the 5 here. I think to be, as you've said, to be fair,
Right, and but
we
one-
need to find out what trees are
And just
Are there.
had another thought as you were talking. So by the Concom saying, hey, we don't want you to rip up the trees, are we putting him in double jeopardy? I mean, this sounds like a TV show. So, the thing is, Concom said, don't do it. Now we're saying, well, hey, we want you to, so we're kind of contradicting ourselves on this.
I agree with you. I think we are taking over Concom's jurisdiction. If those weren't marked in red right now on our plan, would we be looking at them?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I think what is before us, while I understand the discussion about keeping the parking lot cooler, that's what the purpose is for having trees for so many points. This isn't a Bass parking lot where you've got row after row after row, and that's why they put those islands in with the trees. This is, it's a different configuration.
And it's pre-existing too. That was
It's
the other-
pre-existing, but it's also, again, if we're going to step on conservation's toes, because they have told him not to do this, then he should be given credit for what if he was told, you've got 8, 6, I can't even, to me, I see 5 trees here that is marked as under review for the Conservation Commission. If there are 9 trees out there, then he gets credit as far as I'm concerned. He's got an extra 4, and bing, 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 now we're at even. We tell him to plant 1, and now we're at, so I think, honestly, I think we have gone down a rabbit hole in trying to figure this out. I understand we want to be fair to him, and we want to be fair to every other applicant that comes forward, because we don't want to be faced with, well, you did this for this one, and you did that for that one. But I think this discussion has gone
So circling back.
outside of
right,
our
right.
purview.
So circling back to the original request, which was the trees
The deer are gonna
specifically
eat them
in front-
anyway.
Sorry, what now?
I said the deer are gonna
I'm
eat them
really
anyway.
gonna throw something at you now.
So going back to the beginning of the conversation, which was the five trees in the front, that's, in my mind, we circle back to that. So, you know, so we did a full circle, so now we're at the beginning again.
Aren't you glad you came here tonight?
Yes, so the, you know, then the thought process is that, hey, you know, we do 1 tree in the front. We do a number of bushes that you say, you know, of boxwoods that you're gonna put in. And then we get you the value of what those 5 trees are. And as long as, then the donation makes up the difference, and it's a wash. I think that works. That works with me. I think that kind of, we went in a big circle, but I think that works. And I know, and I'm willing with the boxwoods in the front, as long as you put it on the as-built when you're done. I mean, you don't want to block the building. You're going to want to make it look nice. I don't have a problem with letting them do that, so. All right. I make a motion that we approve.
Actually, you have to amend the motion.
I have to amend the
that
motion.
Ellen has already made.
I amend the motion. Oh, geez, I forgot that. Could you, could you make the motion again? Because I forgot it by now.
Why don't we just make a new motion?
Yes, go ahead, please.
No. Can we make a new motion, or we have to?
We didn't
or do
vote.
we have to
There was
just
never a
vote?
second.
Oh,
No one
okay.
seconded it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I move that we amend the plan to include 1 new tree and 3 boxwoods, and to subtract the difference in value between the boxwoods and the trees
For the 5
that were
trees.
proposed, and donate that to our tree fund.
Done.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll be in touch with you, David, and just like we said, there will be some charge, just, you know, for the engineer. They just have to write a memo, so it shouldn't be too bad, so.
Great,
Fantastic.
thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Shut the AC off.
Okey dokey.
Oh.
Here. Man, I know, I don't know where. All right, next item on the agenda would be Woodlands definitive subdivision application, public hearing continued. If you could read the notice.
Town of Kaz, go tell her to be quiet. I know it's Ellen, that's why I said, tell her I said to be quiet. Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 41, Section 81T and 81U, Mass General Law. The Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, at 7:30 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application for approval of definitive plan submitted by Woodlands LLC, John Truska, 66 Main Street, Millis, Mass. 02054, for construction of a proposed 44-lot, single-family residential open space subdivision north of Main Street along either side of Cottage Ave. Assessors map 25, parcels 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 42, 44, and 134. Map 52, parcels 16 and 33, Millis, Mass. A copy of the application and plan is on file with the Office of the Town Clerk and on the Planning Board's webpage. Any person interested or wishing to be heard in the application should appear at the time and place designated. This public hearing to be continued without discussion until Tuesday, August 4th, 2026.
Great, thank you. All righty, next item on the agenda would
We
be,
have to vote to continue.
oh, sorry. I make a motion to continue the public hearing to August 4th.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Oh, abstain, right, okay.
And these poor people that are sitting in the back that are
They
next are
are
probably
accessory
petrified to
dwelling
come forward
unit.
now.
All right, next item on the agenda, we're slightly behind schedule, but not too bad. Accessory dwelling unit, site plan approval, public hearing, Alex Brooks, Next Step Carpentry.
Town of Millis Office of the Planning Board notice of public hearing. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 48, Section 11 Mass General Law, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, at 7:40 PM in the Veterans Memorial Building, room 229, 900 Main Street, Millis, on the application of Alex Brooks, Next Step Carpentry, 36 Grandfield Street, Dedham, Mass., requesting an accessory dwelling unit site plan approval under Section 13C4 and Section 5H, accessory dwelling units, ADUs, of the zoning bylaws of the town of Millis to construct a 900-square-foot detached ADU for property located at 47 Walnut Street, District RS, Map 7, Parcel 2, Millis, Mass. A copy of the application and site plan is on file in the office of the town clerk and can be viewed at the town's website. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the application should appear at the time and place designated. Richard Nichols, Chair.
All right, and so we hear that Alex is not here? No, all right, so if one of you guys could come, someone has to present the, if you just want to come up to the thing, tell everybody who you are and what you're looking to do.
So I'm Evan Brooks. I currently live at 47 Walnut Street with my fiance's mother and my fiance and my daughter, and we're looking to build an ADU in the backyard for my fiance's mother to live in.
Okay, well, that makes sense. We did have one question on the gross floor area of the primary dwelling is, do you know, happen to know the square footage on that? Because we can't tell if it's a
16 or 8?
16 or 1,900 square feet.
I do not know.
No, that's fine. I don't know the square footage of my house either, so that's fine.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so it's in our apartment. Any questions?
Does it,
Go
if
ahead.
it's 16, does it fall, is it 900?
1680 is 840 square feet, because it's supposed to be 50%.
Yeah.
Right, it
Yeah,
exceeds,
that was-
it exceeds the 50% threshold.
If it's 1680, it's a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the only problem is we would need to know the square footage because it's either 50%
Okay.
of the main dwelling unit or 900 square feet, whichever is less.
Okay.
And if the square footage of the main house is 1680,
80,
right.
then
840.
900 would be too much. It would end up being 800.
840.
What did you
Yeah,
say, Camille?
840.
840 square feet.
I mean, can I make a call and find out what the square footage of our house is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, sure, that's,
Call the builder. The builder should know. He must have wrote this, yeah.
yeah, that's fine. We can. All right,
Put that on hold for the next one. Is there another one on the agenda? Do we have another one?
Oh, someone stole my
I
agenda.
stole your agenda.
And you lost that one, too.
I lost that one too.
You can vote on the minutes, I think.
Yeah,
that's the
it's,
next thing.
all right,
Or the housing production plan working group.
okay.
What do we have for the-
Jim McKay was appointed by the planning board to that group for the housing production plan, and now that he's on the select board, he's not able to be on that anymore. So it's not really an official committee, it's just a group that meets to work on a new housing production plan. So they would like someone from the planning board to join, and there's a little blurb in your an email from Bob Weiss discussing it a little bit more, if anyone's interested.
Yeah, if you know the number, you can come up and tell us.
Yeah, it's 1680, so
Okay.
he said it would, 840 would be fine
Okay,
to change
Okay.
that.
we'll change that to 840. All right.
See, that's what I'm looking for. I think you stole mine.
You're
think I
gonna have
stole
to
it.
readjust the plan.
Okay.
The plan's gonna have to be readjusted. It shows 900 square feet
Oh, okay.
on the ADU. On the site plan, it shows 900 square feet
Yeah,
in the plan itself. You
Yeah, I
look
know, I
at-
see
You look
it.
at the dimensions of the plan,
yeah, I see it.
the housing plan. So they're gonna have to resubmit
Yeah,
a plan that meets the regulation.
Could we
I would move to
grant it on
continue.
approval of the resubmitted plan? I don't see why we couldn't do that,
Yeah.
no? Yeah, we could do that.
We can just make that a condition.
Make that a condition.
That the plan has to be, so currently, right now, this plan shows it at 900, so we just, with the dimensions, you
Yeah,
just have to
resubmit
resubmit
it to
the
A4.
We
adjustment.
could do it
That
where
would
we
be-
did it as part of the
Submit.
approval.
Yeah, we
Yes,
just-
submit a redesign to the
Yeah.
ADU.
Yeah.
Just make that condition, a condition of the site plan.
His builder's not here, but I had a couple of questions.
I can
Mr.
try to
Chairman.
answer them.
What were the questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. Your septic system is, the existing septic system, I suppose you've gone to the Board of Health yet or not?
I think so, yeah, I mean, we had it, what's it called, when you,
Title V,
yeah, the Title V.
is it a 3-bedroom or is it a 4-bedroom septic system?
So that was a confusing part, because it was, I think it's a 4-bedroom septic system, but it
You
was
think?
listed as a three-bedroom.
So you think that the septic system is a 4-bedroom septic system? It doesn't look it on this drawing, you would have to have another trench, but. Do we have any correspondence from the Board of Health at all?
Not
Yeah.
that I know of.
That they have the capacity of an extra bedroom with the septic system?
Well, I think we're just asking a dumb question. That goes, if we approve it, that's part of the building permit process.
Well,
Just asking. Yeah,
okay, so. if
that's
they
what I'm
have-
asking.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So the topography of the land to redesign the septic system would impact the topography of the land. And one of the main items that the planning board is in charge of with the site plan is drainage. So we'd have to have a redesign where the drainage is gonna go and how they're gonna mitigate that if they're gonna redo the septic system.
Well, I was told that we might have to redo the leaching field, is that what you
Yeah,
mean by
that's what I'm
drainage?
talking about, yeah.
So, I think that was already planned, I don't know if
It's not, who's Christopher Choate? So he's not accurately depicting what's gonna be constructed on the site, on this plan that's been submitted for us to review for a site plan review, if that's the case. Follow me?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, if you end up, the reason he's saying that if you have to do
You
a
have
full,
this?
if you have,
Yeah, I have that, yeah.
if you have to do.
No, I
a-
didn't know if maybe if your
It's-
answer was, okay.
If you had to do a 4-foot, if you had to do a 4-foot raised system, what Mike's bringing up is that, if you have the 4-foot system and then the house ends up down here, then the water's gonna run down.
Yeah.
Then your
That is
neighbor-
it is a reasonable question.
We don't want to drain, put water on somebody else's property. You wanna make
No,
sure that you mitigate that,
I
so.
understand that.
If you're gonna excavate and redo a septic system, you're gonna have to determine what steps you're gonna have to take to mitigate all that stuff, and that's part of the site plan review.
I thought that was already part of the plan, I didn't know that was missing from the plan.
Doesn't appear to be that way, unless your existing house is 2 bedrooms. Is your existing house 2 bedrooms?
The plan shows that it's 3-bedroom.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
mean,
does,
it was,
okay.
yeah, it was sold,
Just-
it was
just
a
a question.
3-bedroom.
Just a question.
Of course, I can't see that.
Yeah, do you want,
Oh, you got a bigger one? Oh, look at that. That's
well,
exciting.
you have a 2.
Oh, I have a 2.
This septic plan right here. What's this? So this is new.
And, all right, 1 bedroom. So, he's at, his floor levels at 249. Hold on. His house, he doesn't show.
Yeah, so that's
Mhm. Yeah, no, whatever. It does show it's in the way. Mike, hey, if you look at the bigger drawing there,
I got all 3 of them, yeah.
yes, take a look at the bigger drawing, the section through. It does show it sloping away. The question I would have is, So it shows the new field, and it shows it grading downhill, away from the structure. And the existing grade, I believe, does the same thing. Here we go, that's the existing grade. Yeah, so the existing grade slopes off. Yeah, no, that's fine. So it goes from
Yeah, no,
248 to 247, so it slopes downhill away.
that's what I'm talking about. You're moving the whole field down towards the rear of the lot line,
Yeah,
so you can't tell me that's not gonna be a significant amount of,
They're adding an
Excavation.
impervious barrier,
that,
gonna affect it.
that's a significant amount of disturbance.
I mean, we replace septic systems all the time, you know what I mean? We can't tell people you can't replace.
Oh,
your
no,
septic
we didn't say that.
Yeah.
We just want the plan to accurately show what they're gonna do with the drainage.
Yeah.
Even while they're doing it, they should put siltation barrier around it.
Yeah,
That doesn't show it on the plan. I mean, this is a,
right, well, and like I said, I'm going back and forth. You've got your building inspector
Yeah,
go
yeah,
on.
no, I mean-
The question here is the ADU, and, is that right now, is it acceptable? That goes into the building department. If, and I'm just thinking out loud, if the building department gets it, looks at it and says, hey, guys, you've got these issues, that would be something they did. What we need to say is, hey, does this meet the ADU requirements, in my mind? And then the rest of it goes to the building department.
well, we look at, in my opinion,
Yep.
as a planning board, our function is to look at parking, drainage,
Right,
and access. So, I just, with the disturbance of it, I don't wanna make sure that drainage is taken care of. If they need to put riprap in there to handle any runoff from anywhere else that's coming out of it, I mean, they should show it on the plan. I mean, this is a poorly drawn plan by,
Yeah.
whatever that was submitted to the town, which, I mean, I wouldn't be in favor of accepting until the plan is done accurately, to answer our questions.
yeah, no, like I said, I'm just looking at the,
I mean, I'm sure if we were in any other city or town, it would be held, there'd be their own opinion as well, but, I mean, I've gone many places and this plan wouldn't be accepted,
Page 26.
in my view.
right, well, I'm just, like I said, I flipped to page 26 for the site plan review. And what it says on it, all ADUs are required to obtain site plan approval from the planning board pursuant to the general procedures in section 13C4 of this zoning bylaw, and skipping that minimization of tree vegetation.
No, you just skipped the main point, provided that
Oh.
the site plan review criteria shall be limited to the following: minimization of tree, vegetation, soil removal, and grade changes. So if this is an issue of grade change, this falls under site plan review.
Okay,
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm trying to get at.
okay. No, that's fine. No, and that's all good. So I just wanted to make sure I
Sorry.
understood it myself.
So-
No, and it's not being sorry, it's making sure that I remember the whole zoning bylaw, this ADU thing is a new thing, and so
Yeah,
want to make sure we're doing it right, that's all.
I mean,
All right, so I think going back to Mike's comment is that I think we need to have
We need more detail.
we have to have your engineer
do a better job.
address, well, I mean, if we give them some takeaways on that, I think they need to correct the square footage. I think that they need to show a little better how the drainage works with the revised septic system. And how that's gonna be managed. I think that would be it. Was there anything else?
And notes on the plan on how they're gonna mitigate the construction of the septic system, that no water will be, during a significant rain event, that they put siltation barrier to prevent any water from draining on anybody else's property while they're doing it.
Correct. Okay, so we can send, Camille can send you
Mr. Chair,
yeah, go ahead.
Over here.
has this plan been submitted to the Board of Health,
I do
the
not.
septic plan?
Yeah, he's the homeowner, he
Yeah,
does.
I send every application to every department. Yes.
Okay, so it has, but it hasn't been approved or reviewed yet? Okay.
I've received no comment at all.
Yeah. All right, if you could come back to us with that, and, yeah, sorry, we just,
Cool.
but,
Thank you.
all right, great.
Make a motion.
We make a motion to continue
Second.
Continue to next month.
next meeting, yeah. Yeah,
August 4th.
August 4th, yeah. All right,
Second.
motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
It's unfortunate that the budget didn't come.
To close the public hearing.
No, we continued it.
we continue, yeah. All right. I think, you know, I'm gonna find these, I'm gonna find these. All right, so, back to the housing production plan. So do we have anyone that would be interested in working on the housing production plan?
I'll do too many things.
I am, yes, I'm slightly busy myself, so. Alan Cass, no? Yeah. Come on, Alan.
Aren't you already on that?
So, I'm awaiting, my approval from the governor's appointed position for the Millis Housing Authority.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm still in the process. I'm waiting for that.
so you would be,
The governor's appointed,
okay,
On the
on the same.
Member.
Yeah,
so I'm
Alan?
gonna say no right now.
No, that's fine, fair enough.
That's enough.
I have a problem saying no, so I guess the answer is yes.
All right, fantastic, thank you.
So want to make a motion to appoint Alan?
I
Yep.
make a motion to appoint Alan as the new
Second.
planning board liaison to the Millis Housing Production Plan
Congratulations.
Don't tell my wife.
Working Group.
All in favor?
No, that's, we're bound by that. and-
All right, motion passed unanimously. And then, do we approve the minutes?
Not yet.
All right, I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for June as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Could we just send a September meeting?
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely getting a little warm in here. All right.
Right, so the 8th or the 15th?
September 7th is Labor Day. Do you want to do the 1st, the 8th, or the 15th?
15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do, 15th is good for everybody?
What, August,
Of September.
September?
You won't be hunting then? I don't think.
Oh, the first week I will be, yeah, second week I won't.
Okay,
So the 15th?
15th.
Works for me.
All right.
And don't leave yet. I have things for you to sign for the approvals.
All right. All right, with that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, good
Everybody
night,
see it?
everybody.
Everybody see the changes on the
I
state?
read that quickly.